Welcome to Evening of Empowerment, the podcast for out-of-school time professionals, educators, and leaders who are passionate about growth, impact, and innovation in education. I'm your host, Richmond Brown, and the founder of Enrich by Richmond, where we're dedicated to inspiring leaders, elevating program quality, and creating enriching experiences for students and staff. Welcome to Evenings of Empowerment, the podcast where we elevate leadership, ignite passion, and inspire action. I'm your host, Richmond Brown, and tonight we're diving into a requested topic that every leader, seasoned or aspiring, must embrace. Being okay with making mistakes and allowing them to fuel motivation, innovation, and growth. But that's not all. As leaders, we must also provide the space for those coming up behind us to do the same. This week I was having a conversation with a very close and dear friend of mine who has been a true advocate, champion for me in all the things I've done for many years. And we were having a conversation, and I want you to think about this. How many times have you let the fear of making a mistake hold you back from making steps forward? The fear of not submitting something because you wanted it to be a first draft perfection, or didn't do something because you didn't think it was going to be perfect. How often do we demand perfection from ourselves or those we lead, only to create a culture where fear overshadows the progress? Tonight, we're going to dismantle that mindset and step into something more powerful, a leadership style that transforms mistakes into stepping stones. Let's get started. Embracing mistakes as a leader is so important. Mistakes are not the enemy. Mistakes are proof that we're trying, we're evolving, and we're pushing beyond our comfort zones. Some of the most brilliant innovations and breakthroughs have come from what seemed like failures. Did you know that Post-it notes, penicillin, and even pacemakers were all discovered by mistakes? Imagine if those leaders had given up at the first sign of failure. Leadership is about taking risks, making decisions with the best information available, with the best intentions for a good impact, and sometimes getting it wrong. But true leadership isn't about never making mistakes. It's about how we respond to them. Do we let them define us? Or do we refine ourselves through them? You've got to turn mistakes into motivation. When we shift our perspectives, mistakes become opportunities. They become lessons that fuel our motivations and push us towards innovation. Instead of asking, why did I fail? Ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? And what can I do differently next time? As a leader, your resilience in the face of mistakes sets the tone for your team. If you crumble, they will too. But if you rise, if you take ownership, learn, and press forward, you create a culture of continuous improvement. In expanded learning, we call it CQI, the continuous quality improvement. So I would say, why not CQI your leadership? A culture where failure is not feared, where people feel their jobs are not on the line, but embraced as a part of the process of getting better. I've always told my team, when they felt that they may have failed, I remind them that it's okay. And remember, don't allow this to be a setback, but look at it as a setup for your future success. And I stand 10 toes down on that. In that, as a leader, I ask, are you creating a culture where others can grow? Now, this is where we get real. Leadership isn't just about our growth as individuals. That's selfish leadership. And yes, I said it. It's about cultivating an environment where others can grow. That's servant leadership right there. If we demand perfection from those we lead, we set them up to play it safe, to avoid the risk, and they become stagnant and heavy on the lack of innovation. And in the work that I do, I will say that is a huge disservice to all those who we serve. The best leaders create psychological safety, a space where their teams feel empowered to take risks, speak up, and make mistakes without fear of harsh judgment. It means giving constructive feedback and guiding them rather than punishing them, and leading with empathy. Think about the greatest mentors in your life. Were they the ones who praised you when you got everything right, or were they the ones who helped you to navigate through the challenges, who gave you the space to fail forward and support you in the process? The ones who had the real conversation with you to really make you take a moment to step back before you take your next step forward. I always say I have this bow and arrow method that I love to share about being able to, again, pull back, be able to focus before you release so you can always hit the mark. As a leader, yes, you want to get great results, but trust me, when people don't feel good and confident about showing up, it shows in their work. The work that they do will not reflect their best self and really support the vision and the mission. So in that, I charge you all with this. Lead with a growth mindset. With that, I want to challenge you going into your next week to truly reframe your mistakes. First, as I said, instead of seeing them as failure, view them as a data point, lessons that guide you forward. Don't look at your L's as losses, but look at them as the learning lessons that they are. Second, I'd share lead by example. When you make mistakes, own it. Talk about what you've learned and how you're moving forward. Your team will follow suit. That type of transparency supports confidence in your team to truly, truly, truly show up and do what needs to be done. Third, I would say, create space for growth. Encourage your team to take the risk. When they stumble, guide them. Show them that growth comes from stepping outside of their comfort zone. I just said it today speaking with a site coordinator that sometimes you got to go to grow. We as leaders and as people have to learn to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. As a plant, think about it. A plant can't always stay in the pot that they're so used to being in. Definitely when their roots are growing beyond what the pot can hold, you have to be able to move yourself into bigger spaces to be able to continue to flourish. So again, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and then you will continue to thrive and grow. This is how we build strong, resilient, innovative teams. This is how we create cultures of empowerment. And this is how we lead. As a leader of leaders, I invite you to share your learned lessons in the work that you do, and also remember that those lessons will help those who come after you. Don't be ashamed of the mistakes. Like I said, own it, because it's from those experiences that you have that make you better. As I close, I want to invite you all to visit my website, www.enrichedbyrichmond.com. Email me at hello@enrichedbyrichmond if you have any requests of topics you'd like for me to speak on. And also, I'm super excited to share that Evenings of Empowerment will be hosted live at the Boost Live Podcast Lounge at the Boost Conference taking place on April 29th through May 2nd, 2025. So if you have not reserved your spot to attend, it's not too late. Get your tickets, reserve your spot for you and your teams, and get an opportunity to connect with amazing out-of-school time professionals and expanded learning leaders throughout California and throughout the world. Also, you'll be able to see Evenings of Empowerment live in the Podcast Lounge on April 29th at 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to connecting with you all soon. Thank you for spending this evening with me in Evenings of Empowerment. And remember, mistakes are not the end of the road. They are the bridge that takes us to new heights. Until next time, keep leading with courage, keep leading with humility, and keep empowering those around you.